I don't think this is insane to say, but Ethan is online is really, really cringe. I feel like most of you who click on this video don't really need to be told that again, but nonetheless, I find it really funny to talk about, so I wanted to talk about it. Plus, he has a habit of calling everyone who makes videos on him alt-right PDF files, so that would just be a bonus. That'd be pretty funny. I want to make a deep dive today into Ethan as a content creator, kind of go over all of his biggest run-ins with the internet mob, and decide if some people were truly too hard on the guy after all. I mean, he says that the only people that attack him, they only do it because he's a leftist, so today we're going to see if that's true after all. Ethan would start posting video essays to his YouTube channel around 6-ish years ago, first about movies and video games. His takes on these are usually pretty safe. I think Resident Evil 3 Remake his ass too, and to be honest, they are kind of entertaining. It's clear that he's genuinely invested in the topics he's talking about at the time, and although, not my personal style of content, it's clear he had a standout personality that drew people in from the get-go. That'll change, however, on April 8th, 2021, when he uploaded Sigma Males Need to Be Stopped. Whereas before this, he was only pulling a few thousand views. This video currently has over 100,000, clearly setting up the style of content Ethan would shift towards. Well, there's nothing wrong with shitting on Sigma males, they're an easy target, obviously. It's him shifting from, game reviews, TV reviews, to political discussion that would end up building him a completely different audience.
And kind of sexist ideology.
With this video is kind of funny too. Sigma males are really cringe and easy to shit on, so I mean, kind of easy.
Okay, I'm convinced this is a tracing of Eminem.
After this, Ethan would shift to React commentary content, which, no judgment from me, obviously. While a lot of the videos were about dumb Facebook videos or TikToks, every once in a while here and there would be a video about politics, where Ethan would take a very obvious left-leaning stand.
I know. It was a long time ago. He was a lot younger then. And of course, a guy who would write things like that probably still isn't homophobic now. Ben Shapiro is one of those people that takes himself so incredibly seriously, it's really easy to just laugh at him because of how highly he clearly thinks of himself.
So, little editor's note here, I didn't actually see this clip until, I was doing research. Well, I mean, I obviously researched before I watched the script, but I didn't see that exact clip until I was trying to find, specific clips. I don't know how I, overshadowed that the first time. That is insane. It's so funny that Ethan would become the very thing that he, doesn't like, except on the opposite side of the political spectrum. There's nothing wrong with making political content regardless of what side you're on, even if it's not my cup of tea personally, but Ethan would become more and more standoffish towards people with different views in him, resulting in him creating a video named Lazy Content is Radicalizing People. On October 17th, 2022, Ethan would upload a video essay explaining his opinion on other commentary YouTubers, specifically ones that are quote-unquote leafy clones. According to Ethan, making commentary content with gameplay instead of showing your face makes you, again, quote-unquote deeply insecure.
If you're not familiar, all these fucking losers do is pull up random video game footage that they recorded earlier that day and talk about something over it. It's not a new format by any means, it's been really lame for the better part of a decade. But because it allows so many deeply insecure young men to voice their opinions about feminism being bad or whatever while hiding behind footage of Doom Eternal, it remains a very popular medium.
Listen, I don't own a webcam, my laptop doesn't have a camera built in. I have a job and I just want to make content online expressing myself and my opinions. Like the name of the site, YouTube. Well, yes, I agree that generally speaking, videos like Ethan's are, obviously edited better and more visually appealing, I guess. I don't think making videos expressing your opinion over gameplay alone is inherently bad, and for sure doesn't make you deeply insecure. That being said, I do think Ethan makes some valid points in his videos. What I'm about to say isn't trying to dunk on the channels he talks about, trust me, we'll touch more on that in a bit, but I do agree that lots of commentary channels have very similar talking points and tend to make content that is, lazy. And there's nothing wrong with being lazy. Like I said, my videos aren't the holy grail of editing and visual style, but when you have a million commentary channels talking about a new OnlyFans girl every other week, it is a little annoying, I'm sure, but, you can just separate yourself from them. So while I think Ethan makes valid points, the largest issue with the video is how he chooses to present it. So yes, groups of grown men making videos on a small TikTok creator or, OnlyFans girl is pretty cringe. Tying them all together and claiming they're radicalizing young men instead of just calling the content lame and lazy turns it from a content issue into a political issue, which tends to become very messy very fast. While the content is lazy, a lot of the videos just Ethan saying I don't like this content. This isn't funny or entertaining to me. So therefore, it's bad.
Some of you have been telling me to react to this TikToker called Kaya Mints. I've been hearing nothing but bad stuff about this TikToker. I haven't seen any of these person's TikToks. Judging from some of these thumbnails, day in the life of a content creator, like when I see stuff like this, like all I think is, you're cringe. And number two, you've never had a hard day in your life.
Holy shit, dude. Imagine being this bitter about someone's content that you've never seen. It's a strangely common mentality among reactionary sickos that anyone posting about their life, regardless of what they even say about it, is somehow like clamoring for undeserved sympathy. Which to me is just really obvious projection. Like, you can't think about sharing your life without airing some kind of grievance that you have, so everyone must be thinking the same.
Listen.
Sensitive Society made a video on Nick is Not Green, a content creator that Ethan was friends with at the time. At the time, Nick was campaigning for YouTube to ban Sneeko, and Sensitive Society made a video critiquing Nick for this and pointing out how you shouldn't lobby to ban people whose personal opinions you don't agree with. Ethan counterpointed this by saying, it wasn't because they don't agree with Sneeko, but rather because Sneeko said he wanted to SA someone who disagreed with him. I mean, I don't like Ethan, but kind of on their side with this one. And Sneeko was basically deplatformed and bullied off of YouTube anyways. What Nick was advocating for, clearly had weight to it, but I don't like Nick either, so I'll just play the clip Nick was talking about and let you come to your own conclusion on that point.
About the internet, it hides the fact, and like this feminist garbage hides the fact that she's attracted to that guy making the videos. It is what it is. Girls, you could vouch for it. You know it's true. She would. She would. And you know this is true, what's so predictable? You could tell by the way she's talking that she hasn't been properly in a long time. It's been a while. So she's on the internet making this garbage video, promoting all this feminist garbage to your fucking lonely girls in the comment section. What you really need, Chad, is some yeah, shut up with your feminism. Yeah, come here, that's what you need. And she's gonna go, that's what you need. You need some sense back into you. And you know what they're gonna do right after I did that? They're gonna clip that part and say I'm an incel problematic, but you know it's true. You can hear it in her voice. She hasn't been properly in too long, and now you make no sense. That's what happens, man. That's what happens, yo. Someone vouch for me, you know it's true.
Now, I don't think I have to explain why this is disgusting. Sneeko is harassing a female content creator, telling her that the reason why she's so upset is because she hasn't had sex in a while.
Let me just make this very clear. I think what Sneeko did is cringe.
Oh shit. Okay, he does think the clip is cringe. Okay, that's good to know, because he did just spend the last 5 minutes defending Sneeko's right to say it, but he does think it's cringe, so I guess that makes it all okay. What a brave fucking take.
What he did.
And that was all Ethan said about Sensitive Society. A few weeks later, Sensitive Society would drop his response video, completely changing the conversation around the situation and turning Ethan's criticism around on himself. Sensitive Society starts off by making the same points I did about the gameplay footage and points out how preachy Ethan comes across his entire video and just, across his channel in general.
When I saw this, and I saw two of my thumbnails that are certified hood classics, by the way, I don't take those back, I was stunned, because if you look at the definition of radicalizing, it's cause someone to adopt radical positions on political or social issues. And if you guys have been watching me for a hot minute, you know that I don't care about politics. I've said it infinite amount of times. I don't care about politics. I don't watch the news. I don't care, honestly. And it's been like that all of my life. So for some goofy ass loser like this Ethan guy to come on here and say, this guy's pushing an agenda. And with that said, let's just get right into it.
One of the main points of the video is how Ethan is angry that Sensitive Society covers the topics he does, but as Sensitive Society points out, he doesn't like the topics Ethan covers. Ethan covers the same topics as Sensitive Society, just on the other side of the political spectrum.
Gamers out there that feel the need to just throw their opinions out there.
Just like you do, right? I just don't agree with you. So you're like, this guy doesn't agree with me, fuck him, right? And to that I say, I could say the same thing about you and your shitty content and your shitty videos and your stupid preachiness behavior. Guys, men are incels, right? All men are bad. I have he, him pronouns. Dude, shut the fuck up. This guy has the most punchable face I've seen in a hot minute. Dude, you really have to talk about incels and men being cringe and calling people transphobic. Do you really have to keep doing that? Can you talk about something else? Aren't you more original than this? Every single point this fucker's throwing at me, it could easily be applied to you and your stupid political takes. Being macho is cringe. This is stuff that's been said for years. Man equals bad, guys. Like, that's all you fucking talk about, dude.
Weirdos voicing.
And yet Ethan paints himself as above Sensitive Society because of that. But one of the best comebacks was Sensitive Society revealing Ethan either didn't do research or was blatantly lying, as Sensitive Society had already made responses to a good chunk of Ethan's talking points, but for some reason Ethan didn't include them in his video or even mention they exist.
Second of all, Ethan, if you claimed you did your research, the next day after I dropped that hateful video, that bitter video, how dare he have an opinion? After I dropped that video, I realized, because the comment section was telling me, I realized that video was satirical, and you know what I did? The next day, I made a video saying I'm sorry and I took an L. Buddy, where's the research coming from? Or did you choose not to include it because then your whole argument would be gone? It would evaporate. How can you not see that? Maybe you need thicker glasses? Where's that research? If you ask me, your content is pretty lazy too. You're not even doing proper research. Now, if it was me, I could get away with it because I've said I've done lazy content before. But you take so much pride and effort into your editing and your videos. How could this slip, Ethan? You're better than this.
Lastly, he pointed out how most of the comments under Ethan's video was actually defending him, saying he wasn't, transphobic or fatphobic or whatever else Ethan accused him of, showing people that Ethan was directly saying we're being harmed by Sensitive Society actually disagreed with Ethan.
Own video, I'm literally a trans woman and Sensitive Society is like one of my favorite YouTubers. He isn't transphobic or homophobic. I'm also trans and Sensitive Society has done nothing wrong but say literal facts without being directly hateful. I'm bisexual female and I get so much hate from people like Ethan for having basic opinion. Bro, I'm a fat ass female and I still enjoy your content. Especially, well, thank you before we keep going. Thank you. Appreciate you, amiga. Especially the ones where you criticize and make fun of the, body positive movement. Always puts a satisfying smile on my face. Keep up the great work, my dude. Bro, you're the farthest thing from the biggest shit he claims. Keep it up, King. I love watching your content. I hope you continue speaking up for our entertainment. And
but you can't just kind of pull out a few comments and be like, this proves it, but whatever. It ends off with Sensitive Society making a good point that his content isn't being made to, push an agenda or convert people or talk about politics, as that's not something he's personally invested in. And, sure, lazy content or not, I kind of believe him on that one. And Sensitive Society ended up responding well and turned the tables on Ethan, and he did not like that.
What are we up to now? So, as some of you may know, I did a video a little while ago about YouTube reactionaries, how leafy clones are basically they're so right-wing adjacent that they lead people down the right-wing pipeline. And it's a very well-documented phenomenon, but the problem is one of them responded to me. So basically, we're gonna react to the response videos that they made about me. Yeah, we're gonna bully someone. You guys can't bully them. You can bully them in this chat and be funny in the chat and make jokes, but you cannot go to their comment section. If I find out that you go to their comment section, I will permanently ban you and block you on everything. Is it Sensitive Society? Yes. It's gonna hurt, guys. It's gonna hurt him really bad. I'm gonna fucking destroy him. There's no two ways about it.
Ethan starts his reaction by not actually addressing any of the points Sensitive made, instead making fun of his audio quality and editing style again.
Just because I choose to do video game footage and you decide to show your stupid face, it doesn't mean you're better than me.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. It makes me a better and more professional and better creator in general. It makes me better in every way. Sorry.
At least I could entertain people behind a microphone and some gameplay that I recorded 30 minutes prior to me hitting record on here.
Bro, I don't know what to tell you, but people watch Coco Melon. There are children and babies that watch that, just like there's children and babies that watch your videos. The fact that you get a mediocre amount of views on all of your videos doesn't mean anything to me. Thank you for trying to impress me or whatever, but that's besides the fact.
And he fails to pick up on when Sensitive is, obviously joking and being sarcastic, with the Ninja Turtles game.
Oh, okay, that's all he has to say. He's mad that I called out the Ninja Turtles game. Also, really just goes to show you how A, defensive, and B, stupid Sensitive Society is. All I mentioned was the Ninja Turtles game by name, and I'm not disrespecting the game. I like that game. How do you get that from what I said? You're not listening.
And second of all,
he also calls Sensitive homophobic for making a joke that Nick and Ethan are boyfriends, which again, an obvious joke. I don't think he seriously means it, and I don't think making a joke, that's just my opinion. You can cancel me, but I don't think making a joke that you're dating someone is homophobic.
You can cancel me for that. I don't care. It's just my opinion. Go ahead and cancel me.
Video on his little boyfriend, Nick is not green, because I called him out for being cringe and stupid. So yeah, that's about it, guys.
Guys, but you don't get it. He's not homophobic. He's not. He owned me so hard.
So I've been made aware by a few people, including one of my friends called Ichiro. Shout out to him. He made a video on this situation.
I only made my video because of my little boyfriend. No, he got me so good. It's all me, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for defending my friend.
The beef ended up resulting in a 3-hour quote-unquote debate, which, to be honest, is fucking awful. You should have put me in there instead, Sensitive. I took speech and debate in 6th grade. I will link the full debate in the description. So, to wrap this section of the video up, I don't really 100% agree with either side. As much as I don't like Ethan and I don't think he handled the criticism well, some of his points were valid, and I don't really like Sensitive as a content creator. I think the way Sensitive milked the drama was kind of weird and iffy. Still posting about it and Ethan in general, like a year after the drama. But Ethan's questionable research at points and his lack of ability to handle criticism would become a very important factor in his story soon. To start this section off, I want to say right off the bat that I believe that Lex was essayed. So, for anyone that knows what SUPERMEGA is or the situation, I just want to state right off the bat, I don't think the focus of this part of the video is not about disproving the essay or any of that, because I believe that Lex was essayed. I believe the story. It's just more so about how the situation was handled. Since I'm not a corporation, obviously, I feel like I can voice my opinion when it comes to that. I've seen a lot of discourse on if she lied about it or not, but I feel like stretching the truth when it comes to other aspects of the story doesn't mean she lied about her assault. Of course, there is a lot wrong with the story and how she handled it, and I do believe that what they did was calculated and planned when it came to attacking SUPERMEGA. On Thursday, July 27, 2023, a content creator named Lex Updog uploaded a 2-hour video called My Experience with Dawn DRRR and SUPERMEGA. This has to be one of the worst allegation videos I've ever seen, with it obviously being mostly petty drama that barely related to the actual allegation proposed at the start of the video, which was SA.
I feel like I'm a pretty direct person, and aside from what the situation is like turned me into, I guess, but I feel like when this happened, I was like, especially this particular situation, I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And he kept telling me like, just do it. And like multiple times while he was like trying to force my head down, and he's like way bigger than me. I don't know, I was really freaked out after that. So eventually he let me go, but I just kind of shut down and just went with like whatever else he wanted that night. And like for the rest of the trip, I didn't know what to do in that situation. Calling the cops is like what someone would say, right? But like, it's a guy from Germany. How is that gonna work? Like, I know that they can go to jail, but like actually like getting someone in trouble would just be a whole like thing. I didn't want to deal with that. And it was at my friend's house, and I was scared that like somebody may have like would like find his address or something if I like called. Like, I don't know, all of these were just thoughts like after too, because in the moment I was just like, I kind of just shut down. I was freaked out. I remember after I like went with the other stuff he wanted to do, he like choked me on my windpipe. Like, he was like trying to choke me in a sexy way, but he was like choking me, and I was like breathing like very audibly, like not well. And I think at this point I was too scared to like say anything, and I didn't think he would listen, because he just didn't before.
Now, I don't think it's a really hot take to say that, you know, SA is bad. You know, assaulting people is bad. Whoever this Don guy is, giant asshole, you know, stinky. And while yes, there's technically no actual evidence, like I've seen some people say, the way Don kind of just vanished from the internet afterwards without really responding to it well, and the fact that the SUPERMEGA guy said that, you know, they too believe Lex and that happened, gives the entire story enough credibility for me to say that I believe her on this. Too bad this video was supposed to be addressing her essay by a Twitter artist, and it's actually about how she fell out with SUPERMEGA instead.
Make sure you guys get out soon. They only wanted really updates of when we'd leave, so they'd feel better. But no words were said to us by Matt and Ryan. I must reiterate this. Matt and Ryan were avoiding us. Ever since we got back from the Smokies, they had purposely not hung out with us. The only time they really did is if they wanted to smoke weed, because they knew that since we hung out in the garage all the time like delinquents to stay out of their way, and we're out there smoking weed and getting bit by mosquitoes all the time, we would probably have weed with us, so we were useful for that.
She gets angry at SUPERMEGA for asking her for details, not immediately firing Don, and then when they do fire Don, she gets upset that they don't just start telling everyone he's a predator online, which isn't really their fault, considering the fact that there isn't actual evidence of this, and they could easily open themselves up to a lawsuit, along with the fact that they, you know, did fire him, and they continue to work with Lex, even as their friendship slowly fell apart. But the thing is, only around an hour of this 2-hour video is even about that, and the rest is just petty drama that no one really cared about or needed to hear. You know, friends fall out all the time. I'm not gonna make a 2-hour video about my friend group falling out, and you know, it just really came across as sneaky that she would open with her essay and then spend the rest of the video talking about things that, you know, weren't as bad or a big deal. But I don't want to harp on the actual allegations too long. This entire situation can be a video on its own, and there's multiple good videos on it. However, Ethan wouldn't take long to come into the story, because as it turns out, him and Lex are dating. And he was one of the main people encouraging her to post this. He was also actively working with other YouTubers that were accusing SUPERMEGA of covering up essay and being grape defenders. And what would you know, one of those main YouTubers was Nick is Not Green. Again, I don't want to go into the entire stories. There's a lot to unpack, lots of lies and slander all around, and, you know, Nick's videos were awful. The point is Ethan was very quick to help spread a narrative that wasn't true or just irrelevant, and like with Sensitive, he refused to take criticism, doubling down on his awful takes. One of the clips from this era that I think is funny is him claiming Critical is a fascist that has never had gay friends because he doesn't like modern art.
Freaks. But I don't think he knows anyone in real life who likes modern art. I don't think he knows any gay people.
Like, dude, modern art is just shitty. Not everything has to be political. But when SUPERMEGA made their response videos to Lex, which were pretty good, honestly, in my opinion, they showed multiple text messages and clips that proved that Lex wanted them to keep quiet about the essay, that they, you know, let her get her stuff from the office, and they weren't actually evil dicks like they were portrayed as. Also revealed was the fact that Ethan was kind of the mastermind of this entire lie and bring up irrelevant things situation. He encouraged Lex to not just speak out about it, but also lie. Old tweets came up from weeks beforehand where Ethan and Nick made comments hinting to the situation, and when Nick faced very public outlash for it all, he threw Ethan under the bus. Ethan took to Twitter to debate literally anyone that tweeted at him about it, throwing a very public tantrum. This cemented Ethan's status as a local, refusing to apologize or even retract what he said at any point. All in all, though, he would just continue to make the same content with a little audience he had left at this point and just kind of, you know, move on from the situation. Just to recap the main talking points so far, Ethan has shown that he attacks other creators with different political views than him, and would go so far as to lie about situations and try to quiet the truth, while also being unable to handle criticism. On March 3rd, 2024, Ethan uploaded a video named Hunting Predators for Clout. The subject of this hit piece is named Alex Rosen, also known as Chet Goldstein. Now again, I want to make this clear before we talk about the situation. I don't like Alex. I think he's for sure a bad person and a loser all around, but in a similar situation to Sensitive Society, instead of making a well-researched and well-thought-out video explaining why he disagrees with this person, he makes awful points and paints himself as a complete idiot, which, you know, he is. Ethan starts out the video pretty strong in his beliefs, getting into the EDP bust right away,
intercepting him in the parking lot. This led to a very awkward interaction as Alex has no power to arrest anyone and just decides to like milk the entire thing as long as he can for like 45 minutes asking EDP questions
and criticizing Alex for this comment about 17-year-olds.
Some of the funniest parts are when Alex says things like, 17-year-olds are hot, but I wouldn't do anything to them.
I wouldn't do anything with a 17-year-old, right, but there's hot 17-year-olds, right, but I don't go, yeah, when I see a 17-year-old, I'm just like, I can't do it.
What do you mean by that?
Now, pretty bad, but to give credit where it was due, Alex was only 19 when this bust happened, or just turned 20. I can't find a solid date of birth, but, you know, pretty young. But either way, when you look at it from that perspective, it's not really like the worst thing in the world. You know, would I say something like that? No. I don't want to look like a predator, but I also don't think a 20-year-old finding a 17-year-old attractive and not following on that urge makes that person a predator. And I find it weird how Ethan never mentions Alex's age in the video or anything more on that comment other than the insinuation Alex is a predator. And that's kind of what a lot of this video boils down to. Instead of taking time to present valid opinions and criticism, he has a easy take on predator hunting bad because it ruins cases, which, you know, isn't always true. But just uses it as an excuse to shit on Alex for being right-wing and insinuating throughout the entire video he's a predator. So to say Ethan doesn't have any valid criticism or is entirely in the wrong, Alex using real minors as decoys in the beginning is for sure, like, strange.
Honest about the decoy pick. So one of the So one of the decoy pics, the Hispanic boy that we use, that's my cameraman's little cousin. And the white decoy that we use, he's 17. And yeah, I met him on PS4. We're playing Madden together. And he said he was down to do it. So
you have 2 minors that you use as decoys.
Yes, and their parents both know.
Yeah, he's openly admitted before that he just uses actual minors as bait. Doesn't really make sense to me. I thought you were supposed to be protecting the children, not sacrificing them.
And I obviously think being in his line of work and making these kinds of comments.
I provide her with plenty of D, just not the vitamin part.
Oh no, that's not good either.
Oh, really?
Not if it's a child.
Well, I was tired of being a virgin, so what the fuck?
Or jokes is also weird. Like, you can't just upload that and then turn around and hunt predators. But to claim that Alex has never got a single predator locked up isn't just blatant misinformation, it's active and purposeful lying.
And again, remember, this is all for nothing. This is also they just get content out of actual pedophiles. So of course, because the predator hunter anti-pedophile dog whistles are extremely right-wing in nature, he was also on Tim Pool's show, where I think a pedophile hunter should be.
Another issue is Ethan not providing context for clips. Take this clip of Alex making comments about a 13-year-old.
Yeah, predators ask for a lot of pictures, man. They're sick. Go ahead, take off your shirt. Do that and stick your tongue out as you're doing it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You promise you're 13.
Yeah, that's creepy and gross, but the fact that the conversation has cuts is odd. Why not just play the full clip? Still, though, I'm not defending Alex at all. In fact, I'm kind of on Ethan's side when it comes to the fact that Alex is like a creepy weirdo. But as much as I don't like him, it's kind of the worst person you know made a good point situation, where even though he has an awful past and just seems to be a shitty person in general, the good that results from him and his company's actions can't really be downplayed in my opinion. Ethan results in making fun of Alex's appearance multiple times in this video, which like, dude, you look like this? You have no room to make fun of anyone? Calling catching predators quote-unquote right-wing in nature only makes him look really stupid, as wanting predators to get punished for searching for children to prey on is, you know, a politically inclusive belief, believe it or not, actually.
On the scale of these guys don't consider anything in the metaphysical realm to these are interdimensional demons worshiping Satan, where do your marks fall?
Well, you see why I can't fucking take Michael Knowles seriously. Immediately, he's like, where do you think on the scale of like interdimensional demons do you think these random Facebook pedophiles you're catching in your fucking rural Texas town? Do you think that could be alien demons?
This is funny, I'm not gonna lie. I can't take these guys seriously either. But yeah, that's all about it. That's about all I have to say about his call out. Actually, no, one last thing. Him boiling hunting predators down to quote-unquote acting like a child for days is extremely disingenuous, as it's the exact same thing real cops do when they catch predators, you know, quote-unquote legally.
Pretending to be a little girl and offering him to come to her house and then intercepting him in the parking lot.
Not only that, but it's just a dumb argument in general. You can make literally anything sound stupid if you say it in a silly voice and explain it like it's dumb. In order for cops to catch drug dealers, they have to act like drug addicts and, you know, buy drugs. What losers. Even if Ethan's point about only 40 people getting arrested is true, I'd rather Alex make shitty content I don't watch and get 40 predators arrested than him just not do that and let those 40 people harm a real child. Shortly after this video was uploaded, Alex hit Ethan up on Twitter. Look at this little dork making a hit piece on me. Hey Ethan, let's call in on a live stream and we can debate all your dumbass points and you can ask me about the same tired ass clips that every other talentless reaction YouTuber has for the last 3 years. What do you say? Alex then fuels the flame further, pointing out how the person Ethan was directly saying Alex didn't do a good job with got arrested for the same work Ethan was shitting on. Again, instead of making a good point, or, you know, just backing down and accepting criticism on his original point, Ethan just makes a dumb, sarcastic tweet saying, "Did you arrest him, Alex?" Like, no, he didn't. But his work directly led to him being arrested. Like, same logic. Chris Hansen does not directly arrest anyone in How to Catch a Predator. But the people get arrested. Like, whatever. He then says that if he accepts Alex's debate offer, he would be giving Alex quote-unquote free clout. Not to be that guy, because I think comparing numbers is dumb when it comes to fan bases, but I'm pretty sure Alex has a larger, if not equal, fan base as Ethan. And most of the people directly engaging with Ethan's Twitter at the time weren't even his own fans, but Alex's, or people who just already like shitting on him. Now, I don't want to say I don't think Ethan is a predator, nor do I think he's actually against arresting predators and putting them away, but I do think Ethan let Alex's views get in the way of making a piece that genuinely inspired conversation and engaging discourse, instead causing quite the opposite. Still, to this day, replies are calling Ethan a predator, to the point where he ended up tweeting about it less than a month later. Really cute to keep making videos harassing a victim of multiple CSA for calling out the unethical and suspicious practices of a YouTuber wannabe cop. Seriously, fuck all of you, you're defending an actual predator, but you don't care because you want the content. You're sick. And Ethan, obviously, you know, it goes without saying being a CSA victim is awful, and I do agree that people constantly harassing him in the comments are, you know, probably not the best people in the world. But if you want to avoid situations like this, you need to think out your arguments better and put more time into expressing your voice in your videos. Like, my videos are edited like shit, but I feel like they're written in a way, and I feel like I can do improv in a way that gets my genuine opinions across. You just jump the gun when it comes to that. And even with that, calling someone a predator just because they criticize a predator hunter's tactics or personality is dumb. I agree with you. So to end this off, Alex is in the wrong for using actual minors as, you know, bait, and his obvious racism in the past. You know, I don't want to be that guy. It'd be one thing, I guess, if he was just, you know, making edgy jokes or even just saying it the N-word in a non-racist context, you know. Like, I get it's racist either way, but there's, you know, a difference between someone just saying the N-word to be edgy and lame and literally calling the BLM hotline and saying the N-word over and over, along with posting and spreading racist takes on Twitter. So, you know, I don't feel like it's insane to call him an actual racist, because he pretty obviously is. But Ethan's piece was poorly made and really comes off as Ethan just trying to own Alex, to own his fan base of quote-unquote right-wingers, since I guess to him wanting to catch creeps is just a right-wing concept. Since the Alex Rosen incident, Ethan has basically become a either full-blown lolcow, or depending on how you look at it, just completely irrelevant. If you search for a video of his, usually you have to scroll through commentary videos to find it. Very similar situation to Tipster. And you know, here I am, dropping probably the 10th retrospective, I guess, like a video game, on this dude's drama this week. And recently, Ethan has been on stream really doubling down on the SUPERMEGA situation and other awful takes, claiming that everyone that makes videos on him gets quote-unquote everything wrong.
Because, like, I don't want to watch the hate videos. I think a lot of people are in that boat. Not that they even know anything, they literally get everything wrong. Every hate video is just factually wrong.
Like, yeah, dude, every bit of criticism about you is factually wrong. And the way he words it, it almost sounds like Nick cut off Ethan, which, if true, is a rare Nick is not green W, a based moment, so to say. He then claims every video covering Nick has a quote-unquote racist thumbnail.
The way they were using him in their thumbnails was racist.
I doubt he will ever bring this up again, but I am genuinely curious what thumbnails he considers racist. Or is it just because Nick is a different race? Like, I don't get it. I've not seen a genuine racist thumbnail, but whatever. Ethan has learned that he can just pull the victim card anytime anyone has problems with him or his friends, and now he will never do anything but pull that card. But another recent stream has gained a lot of traction for how pathetic Ethan and Lex come across in it. Disclaimer, I can't find a full stream archive, so I only have bits and pieces of the stream and story, but nonetheless, it's funny. The entire stream boiled down to them arguing with the chat after popular commentary streamer Lyrics directed people over there by talking about their stream live.
Still, that's weird. They didn't change the credit, but they changed the artist. That's almost like a cover-up.
Floromancy, thank you for the tier 1.
You got mogged by Smaggle Daggle and Tipster.
Dude! That's even better than Glepshido!
Smaggle Daggle! The big Bungie video on you would wipe the slate clean with this chat. That video has fucking revenge porn in it. It is a deranged, like, fucking delusion made by a 4chan basement dweller. I'm not watching that.
And we have an insane crossover as my favorite debate bro political streamer Smaggle Daggle pulls up to mog Ethan in chat and then get banned forever. Rip. I'm sure Smaggle is still sobbing today when he remembered that Ethan banned him from his Twitch chat. But, you know, if you enjoy listening to Ethan and Lex cackle, refuse to watch any video with decent information on them, and seethe, as the kiddos would say, then this stream is right up your alley. To be honest, I don't know what else people expect of them at this point, as they've made it clear they don't plan on changing their behavior. Ethan has come under hot water again as he publicly defended Chris Tyson. Now, there's a lot to that situation that has nothing to do with this video. In fact, I might make a video on it after everything finishes coming out, because literally as I'm recording this, I opened Twitter and saw that there was a SA allegation against Chris, which is new. So, lots of that situation, I might make a video on it after everything's said and done. But looking at the facts alone, Chris has at least consistently hung out with a lolly artist for years, bought and commissioned lolly artwork, and made weird public comments. Which is the exact same thing Ethan shit on Alex Rosen for, is it not?
Replied, the twins and feelings. First 2018, the fact that Vilo was 4 released.
God, I hate how this is formatted like a commentary video and it feels like it was edited by AI.
If you still think this is a coincidence, then next Tuesday will definitely change your mind. On January 25th, 2019,
It also sounds like it was written by fucking AI.
Chapman posted a picture of a character called Raptalia from the Rising of the
So, the synopsis is... Ava used to like... Stop skipping? No, because the synopsis of the video is Ava used to like Shadman in 2017. I don't need to look at a bunch of his fucking Nazi pedophile art to go fucking figure that out. That's gross. Don't watch that fucking dog shit video. So bad. Such an awful, fucking terribly formatted video. Literally the worst fucking YouTube video I've seen in a long time. Literally just to be like, Mr. Beast's friend 7 years ago had some inappropriate tweets that were a really bad look. You're avoiding the video? That's the whole point. What am I avoiding? What am I avoiding? That's literally the whole video. Didn't like most of the internet at the time fuck with Shadman? Yes. For some reason, yes. He was very popular. It's fucking gross. But Ava's not a fan of him anymore. I'm literally discussing the video, which is so funny. I don't need to see the whole thing. It's bad. It's a bad video. Chris has liked images with underage characters. Bro, you were talking about a Nazi pedophile artist that was like massively popular on YouTube at the time. I'm sorry. It was fucking 7 years ago. Showing it to me is fucking gross. I don't want to see it. It's irrelevant. That doesn't make it okay. It's not relevant, though. Is that a gross thing to do? Is it unacceptable? Yeah. But, like, the anti-cancel culture warriors all of a sudden are like, wait, liking tweets from 7 years ago. Wait. Liking tweets from 7 years ago, though. Why are we even talking about Mr. Beast's friend? Because she's Mr. Beast's friend. Since this time, Chris transitioned and is now Ava. To give you an idea of how fucking long ago this was! Stop being defensive. You follow Chris on Twitter? Dude, this was a completely different time. I was in high school when this happened. I had no idea who fucking Mr. Beast was, and neither did Mr. Beast. He wasn't even around. What are you saying? Yeah, your username, by the way, is I Get Blacked. You're also fucking weird as fuck for that. Only weird that videos like this only came up after she came out as trans? Yeah. She's quite literally reinvented herself since then in multiple different ways. I don't know if you've noticed.
Shit.
Are you trying to cancel Mr. Beast too? Because he had that in his living room? It was in Mr. Beast's living room. Should he be canceled too? You can't ever defend Mr. Beast ever again. Don't ever defend him or watch him. You can't ever do it. If I recall correctly, the video ends on a transphobic tweet. Yeah, awesome. I love you follow Chris on Twitter like that's an own. You follow an account that liked lollyporn 7 years ago. Did you know that? No, I guess I know that now. It's fucked up that that happened. It shows a bias. Towards what? For Chris. No. No, it doesn't. It shows maybe a bias for reality and 2024. I will say that. I do have I have a recency bias. I have a bias for shit that has actually happened in the last 5 fucking years. I mean, Jesus. It shows a bias. I can say that what Chris was doing on the internet in 2017 is fucking gross, unacceptable, but she doesn't do that anymore. She doesn't do that. It's not acceptable. I agree with you. I literally agree with you. It is not acceptable. But that hasn't happened in 7 years. So, do you want to keep doing like... Do you want to keep acting like Mr. Beast should be canceled forever or something? Or do you want to be a real person and understand that people change over time? Getting one guy a lot tonight is literally just this guy. You should not be apologetic. I'm not apologetic, and now you're literally misgendering Chris. You're spelling it the way she changed it too, but you're misgendering her. So I think that shows that you have a pretty severe bias, actually. You actually have a bias that leads you outside of reality and away from logic and truth. What did Chris do? In 2017, liked a bunch of Shadman art, which was a Nazi pedophile. There are people that like Shadman art now. Why don't you go fuck with them? Why are you trying to, like, talk about what was going on in 2017? Anyway. They really aren't worth your time. Why are you being defensive? Well, you're just changing the complete conversation because you don't have anything to say. Being defensive. I'm literally saying it's bad.
Room tour.
I literally said it's an unacceptable thing to do. And you're like, why are you being defensive?
Part 6, I believe. Let's do a super fast recap.
Why are you...
To go on a public defense for a weirdo is strange considering it's the opposite of the logic you applied for Alex Rosen. It would be weird if this was because Chris politically aligns with Ethan's views, unlike Alex, but you know, I don't want to give any conspiracy theories here. But yeah, in the end of the day, Ethan is gonna be Ethan. You gotta remember, this is the same guy that said Charlie doesn't have gay friends because he doesn't like modern art.
Freaks. But I don't think he knows anyone in real life who likes modern art. I don't think he knows any gay people.
So yeah, thank you all for watching this video. I want to get in the habit of uploading more often, maybe even streaming if you guys would be interested in that. Just let me know in the comments and I will for sure look to start that up. It probably won't be that hard. And I kind of want to make unscripted content on the second channel. I'm also pretty active on Twitter. You can see my based takes on there. It's at Gareth Joestar. But yeah, that's the story of EthanIsOnline, or peethan, one of YouTube's biggest losers. Thanks for watching.
I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us.